Peace to the gods and goddesses. Peace to the earth. Peace to the beautiful butterflies that are preparing to emerge from your chrysalis of love and light into the new reality that you are not yet even fully aware that you are already experiencing. 11:11 on the clock. This is a channeled message, by the way. For those of you who don't know me, I am Oshun Ajay, aka the Unraveler, aka the Narc Slayer. And I want to congratulate the butterflies who are preparing to emerge. And, I love the way that Spirit speaks, because I was getting ready to go live. I didn't really know why I was going to go live. I just know when Spirit is ready to speak through me. And, I was actually, upset earlier and just feeling, I had been triggered, earlier this week emotionally, and, was still working it out, right? And so, it's always a conversation between me and God, going on internally. And I was getting, oh my God, such beautiful understandings. It was being unraveled for me, and understanding everything and why all of this has happened the way that it has. And then I was like, I had to go live because I have to tell people, and I have to let people know that they have graduated and they don't even really understand what's getting ready to happen. Okay. So what's about to happen is, there's so many things that are coming through right now. I'm thinking about the God puzzle. I always talk about the God puzzle, and how this is because it all ties in together. Everything that I say, you can go back through every video that I've ever made and put it together, because everything that I speak about, it's pieces of a puzzle. Just as the word of God is spread out amongst the people, you're never going to get the total word of God in one religion, in one book, in one theology, in one belief system. God is bigger than them all. God encompasses everything. And so in order to know it all, you have to understand that it is a puzzle that has been dismembered, and the Great Awakening is really a great remembering. And you will be remembering individually who and what you are, and also collectively. So for now, let's speak of individually what is about to happen for the butterflies, okay? And when I say peace to the gods and goddesses, I'm speaking of the gods and goddesses who have already gone through, their ascension processes, and already are on the front lines, who have already been being about our fathers and mothers' business, okay? And I'm speaking directly now to those of you who have remained in isolation, because such has been your station thus far, okay? And for anyone who has questions about this, let me refer you to 1 Corinthians 12:4, I believe, where God speaks about the different spiritual gifts that have been poured out amongst the people as the Spirit is poured into the people. Of course, you are pieces of God with gifts that came from God, because you are a piece of God, okay? And so as the Spirit was poured out amongst the people received gifts. So 1 Corinthians 12:4 talks about the different administrations of gifts and how all of the gifts come from the same Spirit, okay? And so those of you who have been in isolation, you are a different piece, a very exclusive piece of the God puzzle. Okay. And again, this is not about a hierarchy or anyone being better. It's about fitting into the God puzzle where you are supposed to fit. And not every piece is shaped and formed the same way. So these pieces of the puzzle that I'm speaking to right now, you are the very last pieces. This is what makes you so exclusive. You are the ones that complete the puzzle. And you don't want to come out of isolation, because you've created a little love bubble for yourself. And this has been the armor of God for you. And you don't want the attention because even when you just step out of the house, you get a lot of attention and you don't want it, because you know the nature of man and you know the evil that has lurked in the hearts of men in 3D. Okay, but let me reassure you that you have graduated from 3D and you have become the writer of your story, the creator of your own reality. And so when the moth that is perched above your love bubble, butterfly, just as the ancestors are positioned in the heavens above you in your physical reality, whether you know this or not, they are prepared to burst what you call the firmament. There is a moth above each individual bubble of each butterfly, prepared to burst your bubble as well. And it's a beautiful thing. And I want you to, when the bubble bursts and you take your first deep breath of the new air on the new earth called Gloria, and when you see fish swimming in the sky and gold coins pouring from the sun to the people, God's people, do not confuse awe, because you will be in awe of God. Do not confuse awe with fear. When the things that you call stars, twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are, up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. When the stars reveal to themselves, reveal to you exactly, thank you, Spirit. I love it. When the stars reveal yourselves to yourselves, do not confuse awe with fear. So the number 555 is significant to this time. This is the time of change. The numbers 333, 666, and 888 are also very significant to this time. I'm speaking to the people who have been the voices of God. You may make videos, you may have a podcast, in some way you are doing your work, but behind the scenes, correct? And God has been shaping and molding you into something that is greater than the world has ever seen before. You came to complete the puzzle. The last few pieces of the God puzzle. I'm so excited for you, even though I know that you are not excited. You are irritated. You are nervous. You are excited at the same time. Some of you are going to be so eager the closer that the time comes, because of course, you know, you will know. It will not be, you will not, this is something that you will not, no one will be able to ignore. Everyone will be in awe of God. Every tongue will confess that this is God, and every knee will bow, because God is God. And what is going to happen is that the God puzzle, that which has been dismembered, is piece by piece being remembered. First remembering yourselves, and then remembering the truth that you've never really, truly been apart from one another. The illusion is dissolving. Go to part 2. This is the God puzzle part 2. Now, I don't completely remember what was being said in part 1. I mean, I do remember the subject matter, but again, I'm channeling, so so, I know that I saw people being released from their, from their bubbles, right? And I know I was saying, don't confuse the awe that you are going to feel with fear. Okay, because you're not having the same experience as people who didn't do the work. And so don't focus on their world, because their world is about to collapse. Their world is unraveling. Okay, so this is not about looking at what's happening in the world. Okay, you have to think about Psalm 91. Thousands will fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but this is not about you. Okay, you would just be witnessing with your eyes the punishment of the wicked, the people who have, who deserve what they're getting. Okay, God is just, and God is also faithful. And so God is coming to be both, okay, for justice, okay, and also to keep his promises to those of you who have kept your promises to God. And so this is your graduation. And like I said, when you see the fish that will be swimming across the sky and the gold coins that will be pouring literally from the sun, okay, for this new earth that is filled with love, light, and infinite abundance and infinite possibilities. This is the promised land for the pieces of the God puzzle, or the chosen 144,000, comprised of 72,000 divine masculines and 72,000 divine feminines. And out of those 144,000, which were called, few have been chosen to be completely released from the bubble. Now, the love bubble that that you are in, it has been your armor of God. Individually, collectively, it has been called the firmament. Okay, so individually, your bubbles are about to be burst, and it's a beautiful thing. But again, do not confuse awe with fear when it happens, because it's a change, something completely different, a renewing of the mind, because you have refused your entire life to conform to this world. Correct? And so this is what has been promised to you for all of your sacrifices and the hard work that you have put in. The time has come for the separation of the wheat and the tares. And so for those of you who are graduating and you are the wheat, the graduation and the elevation, the escalation, it has not felt like a gift to you. It has felt like being stripped bare of everything that you love, correct? It has felt like losing. It has felt like loss and disillusionment. And it has been a time where you have not been able to lean on your own understanding, because you don't understand, and you have had to trust in God with all of your heart. What has been happening is that the wheat that entangled itself around your roots as your friends and family were really not your friends and family. They were the fake seeds that the enemy planted in order to suck the life from you at the root. And so when the gardener comes through and it is time, it's harvest, baby. This separation that you are feeling from things that you loved that didn't love you is nothing but you being pruned and cleansed, and the isolation that you have been put into. I was getting ready to say solitaire. Solitaire is significant. Someone plays solitaire, either virtually or with yourself. Okay, maybe that is your confirmation that yes, I'm talking to you, because I'm talking to the people who have been in isolation until this point. Okay, these are the last few pieces of the God puzzle, okay, that come in to complete the puzzle so that we see the fullness and the wholeness of God. The people who have been waiting for God to come back, God ain't went nowhere. God was dismembered, okay? Within the illusion and within the truth, God will be remembered, meaning put back together, which is why I use the analogy of the God puzzle, because this is what the pieces of God, which are the chosen vessels of God, this is what you are. You are pieces of the God puzzle. The different religions, the different belief systems, the different theologies, different pieces of the God puzzle. None of you have all of the words. You have to put the puzzle together. Okay? And you have to be able to unravel the mysteries and the riddles of insanity that people like narcissists bring into your life. And this causes you to be even more sane in your reality. Okay? I don't know what I just said, but I just said something. Okay? Come through, Spirit. So I had posted on the part one that, I don't call, I don't use the term narcissistic personality disorder, because narcissist, to me, and this is my term, it's really non-playable character disorder. Okay? So it's NPCD. Okay? And this is the Unraveler's term. And so, don't allow anybody to steal this term from me, because, we know how the tares love to copy and mimic. Okay? And so what has been happening is you have been being, you feel that you have been being stripped bare, that you have been losing things, that, you know what I'm saying, you feel alone. But really what has happened is that you have been placed in the barn, and this is the time of the harvest. So at the time of the harvest, God told the gardeners to, so if you guys don't, for the people who don't know the story of the wheat and the tares, I really don't want to have to tell the whole story, because we only have like 10 minutes on here, but basically the wheat and the tares, basically the enemy, God planted a garden, of beautiful things that were going to grow and he was going to use. And then the devil came and planted his, his fake seeds right next to it. And what it did was entangled itself at the roots with you. And so when the gardeners noticed that, the fake seeds had grown up next to what God had planted, they asked God, if they should, take the wheat, the tares, which is, basically just weeds that have no use to God. Should they, rip those up out of the ground? And God said, no, don't do that, because, if you do that, then you're also going to rip my stuff out the ground. Because, what had happened was, this is the part that people didn't understand, is that the wheat, the tares had entangled themselves around the root of the wheat. And this is why, how can I explain this? I've already explained it. Thank you, Spirit. So, they had entangled themselves around your root in order to suck the life out of you, okay? And these are the narcissistic people that you actually thought were your friends and family until you began to awaken. And this is the great awakening and remembering that this is not your soul tribe. This is not your family, okay? And Jesus and any other ascended master, they all had the same awakening, okay? So do not confuse awe with fear. But you are the chosen one out of your bloodline to break the generational curses that were on that bloodline. You came into that family and into this world, but you are not of this world. You are not written into the game like the NPCDs, okay? The non-playable characters, the NPCs are, they're written into the game. And so when the people who are in this world but not of it, you have been encased in your love bubbles, when you are released from the game, these people do not get to go. And this is why they have hated you from the beginning of time until the end of time, which is now. And so, prepare to say goodbye and prepare to enter into a world that is now a no-narc network. the God Puzzle Part 3. So I'm going to try to wrap it up. I hope that everything that I've been saying has been making sense. So basically, the people who are the last pieces of the God puzzle are being released, okay? And individually, this will look like a major shift in your life in a positive direction, okay? And this is on every level, okay? Mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, meaning that, this could be new love, new financial, tax bracket, new everything, okay? A renewing of the mind is a renewing of the reality for the individual. And so this is what is about to happen. You are receiving divine guidance and angelic assistance with this. And this is why there are angels and ancestors who have positioned themselves to be of service during this time of change. Okay? So all you have to do is watch the skies or the corners of your eyes. And so, again, when these supernatural things begin to happen, the biggest message is to not confuse the awe that you are going to be in with fear. Because again, fear is the devil's version of awe. The devil always has some dark, irregular copy of what God has made, okay? So fear is false evidence appearing real, and the truth is what you will really be in awe of, okay? So fear is part of the illusion that is dissolving as the great remembering is happening. When you remember the truth, then what you know is that the illusion is not real. And so when we talk about the illusion not being real, then we have to also talk about the NPCs, okay? Because they are written into the illusion. Now, when I speak about this, I want you guys to visualize the yin-yang symbol and understand that one side is the truth, one side is the illusion. Both are necessary for the experience of duality to be had, but only one is real. So what is about to happen is the one that is real is about to take center stage and completely obliterate and as you see, I almost couldn't even get that word out because the enemy does not want this to happen, okay? The illusion is unraveling. The illusion is dissolving, okay? And so the time that I was born for has come, the time of change. The number, again, 555 is very significant to me personally, and also to my mission here and to the time that I was born for. And I'm speaking to the others of my soul group who have been in isolation thus far, okay? Who my voice and my story and my language resonates with you. I'm speaking to you. You know in your heart of hearts that it's time to come out and show yourselves. There is a need to be seen and heard and appreciated and loved, okay? Because you deserve it more than anyone. You are the ones who have been behind the scenes holding this whole ascension together, correct? Praying and fasting and really doing the real work, shadow work, inner child work, helping people already into your light work, okay? Not so much as talking about it as you are being about it. And so this is your graduation, and this is your elevation, and this is your time to be in the spotlight. Now, I know that none of you asked for the spotlight, but all of you knew that at some point that you would be in the spotlight. All of you knew, even as a child, correct me if I'm wrong, that at some point you were created to be in the spotlight. You are the spotlight. Okay. And, as the world stage is collapsing, the truth that has always stood within it and around it and above it will now fall into place as it should be. So if your individual illusion is unraveling, allow the unraveling to happen. It is unsettling, to say the least. It's an unsettling experience. It's the experience where you do have to trust in God with all of your heart and lean not on your own understanding. But it is also an experience where, once you have endured to the end, you will be given overstanding, complete comprehension of why everything had to unravel the way that it has. So, in this reality, it is a no-narc network, as I said before. There's no need to worry about anything. This is the land that has been promised to you where you can actually rest in God, and you don't have to worry about anything because all of your needs are being supplied. This is your own personal heaven, and you earned it. You earned it. Okay? And you deserve it. And as long as you know that you deserve it, it is yours. So the dawning of this reality upon your carnal mind could happen at any moment because it has already happened in the spirit. So linear time is just a time of grace for you to get yourself together. Okay? For your new reality. In what way do you want to appear? What exactly, do you wish to be doing? In what way do you wish to express your soul? And what are you going to be doing for fun in this new reality? These are the decisions that you will be asking, be being asked to make going forward, because I know you can't see it right now, but all of your needs as well as your desires are being filled, and you have been granted the privilege of asking anything in the name of love and receiving it. And because you have literally become love, because you are love, anything that you feel that love for will be magnetized to you, including people, places, and things. This is the renewing of the mind that transforms your reality into one that you have complete and total control over. You awaken to the reality that I am God. This is my little bubble, my little sphere of influence, my little world within the multiverses of worlds that I made. And I can go in and out of any one of them whenever I want to, because I am God. When I was just a piece of God, I was the mouth of God. I was the voice of God. I was the eyes of God. You know what I'm saying? I was the hands of God. If I was a healer, I was the love of God. If I was a mother, a nurturing, loving mother. If I was a woman, a divine feminine. I am the strength of God. We are pieces of God, literally. And when you awaken, come on back into the fold, because we need you within the puzzle. Until then, peace.